Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to MSC 2020. Do we call it 2020 MSC? Are we going to be doing this again next year?
MSC? I'm not sure.
Is this confirmed an annual thing? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
Who knows, you know?
Well, I don't. I certainly don't know much at the moment. After 6 games, my brain has basically exited my skull. But that's okay. We still have 2 more to go. First up, it is DRX versus Gen G. The LCK rematch is going to be upon us. The first time, it was DRX that were able to take down Gen G pretty comfortably, to be honest.
I mean, they are not changing roster, too. I mean...
No, of course not. I mean,
there's no reason.
Yeah, and there's also no real options.
Yeah.
Like, the only option that they have is to change Life out for Kellen, I believe, and you're not going to do that because Life hasn't been anywhere near an issue here for Gen G, and in fact, their last game was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Especially out of the other players. I think Ruler was the only real question mark, especially in the DRX series.
Yeah.
But now he's against Deft, who really did have a struggling time against the Aphelios of Loken.
Yeah, and also if DRX loses this game, then it's going to be really rough and hard schedule.
The psychological situation there is real tough.
Then they are playing 3 games in a row. And totally, they played 5 games today.
Yeah. And I mean... If you're Gen G, right, I think you're actually completely okay with Dragon X winning right here because you've already beaten JDG. You know you can do that, right? So you're not going to – I don't think it's going to be the same psychological issue. Of course, they are going to – like they don't want to go to the next match, the next knockout match, right? No one wants that. However, I don't think it's going to be nearly as impactful. I think that there's almost no way that DRX beats JDG if they go up against them again.
Yeah.
I think that's just too hard.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the draft was the problem, but I think it was just more for their decisiveness.
Yeah.
Because they could definitely choose one thing and just do whatever they think it's better, but they did literally, I felt literally nothing after the third Drake, you know?
Yeah, it felt like they locked down the third one. They're like, soul point, all right, we win.
Yeah.
But no, you need to get the last one, actually.
Yeah.
And then Kanavi, as soon as he stole the second one away, it was like, well, I think the scaling might be out of your hands now, DRX.
And now we can't team fight anymore. We cannot push side lane. So what do? Flank with the pike.
Yeah,
it
maybe.
It doesn't work, by the way.
I wonder whether it's going to be more Rumble in the mid lane pickups here for Chovy, or whether he's going to move to something else this time around. I think Doran was also a little bit more forgettable in this game than he was in prior games.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, in this meta, just set top lane itself is not like
no, it's not super great at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of did really great flexing in the draft, but yeah.
The idea was
the late game.
Yeah, I think the idea was to get themselves a lane that the Pike was going to be happy in, and of course, Tom Kench, especially in the early stages, is going to be one that you can capitalize on. But you saw Lumao was actually pretty capable. Outside of that, so let's have a look at pick and ban here for game number 7 of the day.
Yeah.
The first tiebreaker.
And I do believe today we have all Kalista lost a game, right? Lost whole games, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And it was from Gen G and DRX too.
Oh, God. Okay, well, maybe we just won't see Kalista being looked at all.
Yeah.
DRX on our red side to start this one off. Gen G on blue. We'll see what priority they're going to go for.
And yet there is still potential for the Gen G just to lock in Yasuo and Gragas as second and third.
Yeah. I mean, DRX can do the same thing if they want to.
Yeah, if they want to.
I mean, this is Chovy. Chovy's Yasuo is something that is also pretty impressive. But the problem is the Gragas side of things.
Oh, so they just banned set.
All right.
I expect it from DRX though, because Gen G, they played. They played better set, yeah.
I think so too, yeah. I think Life's set was actually fantastic. Lumao's a little bit better, but Life's certainly second. And Graves going to be banned away here. Senna to be removed from both Keria and Deft. Now DRX thinking about whether they continue down their jungle path or whether it's going to be something like a Zoe to be taken away. Remember, DRX Genji and DRX both have the Zoe players, so now, I mean, I have a feeling Zoe will be first picked if it's left up.
Okay.
That's what I think.
And there is still Israel and then and Aphelios, which is showing off really great in this tournament, especially especially today. So I think there is 2 choices. So there's
carry
no
pool's fine actually.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But
now Ezreal Zoe. What?
Israel Zoe or is Zoe and Aphelios.
Yeah, it's fine too.
There is Yumi too. So.
Oh god. Maybe you just pick,
and also Trundle.
You could just pick Yumi Zoe and
Yumi
not
and
care.
Zoe?
You could pick Yumi Zoe and then guarantee that you will have them. and then pick Ezreal afterwards.
Israel or Aphelios or Misfortune.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
There's actually 3 champions.
Yeah. Do you feel like DRX need to pick Zoe here though? I think that probably should be prioritized.
I think they're just doing mind game.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 100% sure that they have counter pick into Zoe, and I think they are worrying about Yasuo and Gragas too. Let's say DRX gets Zoe and Aphelios,
that's
then
true. Yeah.
it seems like kind of free Yasuo and Gragas game already.
And Yasuo Gragas synergizes very well with Kalista at the same time.
Yeah, and also is really good into Zoe.
Yep.
And Aphelios at the same time.
Maybe Genji have just gamed DRX at their own game.
Just do it!
They haven't.
Okay, it's just boring.
No. It's still 2 seconds to go. Never mind. Don't believe. Stop all that belief. It's over. Big smiles on BDD's face.
He heard us.
Yeah, he's thinking about picking up a Pog on a different champion this time around. There's 13 seconds to go. What's BDD going to pick up here? Might be a pick for Clid.
Yeah, there is still Trundle. A lot of good champions are still left. Gragas.
Alright, Gragas still going to be picked up here. A lot of flexibility still available. Remember, Life was probably one of our best support Gragases in the league last year.
Best support Gragas is Mickey X.
Yeah, in Korea, I meant. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, we just need to see what DRX is thinking. I mean, there is still Trundle, but Thresh actually. Thresh got banned a lot today, by the way, because of the Aphelios.
And also, I mean, Lumao has a big reputation of Thresh play, as do most flashy support players, and Keria is no different to that one, so they are going to lock that one away.
Yeah.
And DRX, they'll probably... interesting. They're still going to go for jungle picks, so they are expecting Life to be taking the Gragas bot lane, or maybe just trying to get rid of some options here so that DRX can just lock in Trundle for this 4th pick, which is what I'm sort of expecting based on that Kindred being picked up. Genji, get wise. Not bad.
There is no Graves, no Kindred, no Trundle.
Is there a chance that Pyoshik just plays Nidalee himself?
Nidalee himself?
Maybe.
Huh.
That'd be a lot of poke. That would be a lot of poke.
That is true, but I think one Syndra stuns will be just one-shot him.
And also you've got Gragas. Yeah, that would suck too. Clid pretty good at the Jarvan, so they are going to ban that one away. Haven't seen too much of this pick.
I mean, so there is higher chance for the Genji playing Gragas support with the Kalista, and he won't already showed up. So
yeah, true.
But it can be still Gragas jungle for the Genji side, but I do not believe that they want to play Syndra and Gragas mid jungle combo against Sejuani especially.
Unless they're going to play Syndra 80 carry, Kalista top, Yasuo Gragas jungle.
That would be actually 500 IQ play.
I mean,
5 head.
They could theoretically do it.
4 head, 5 head, I don't know.
I don't really look at Ruler as our awesome dude type player.
Ornn.
And especially not when they lock in Ornn.
Ornn mid Kalista. AD Syndra. Yumi.
Oh.
Support.
Ornn support. Ornn
just mix up everything, man.
Double jungle Ornn Gragas. We've got another jungler.
Oh man!
Locked in. Okay, we've got Nocturne.
Nocturne jungle for sure, and Gragas support.
Yeah,
Kalista
So it was what we were expecting at the beginning.
Yeah,
so not doing anything fun.
They're just being LCK.
Yeah, they
are. Again. They're just back to the comfort zone, you know? They're just afraid now.
Well, here's the GP. And
yeah.
that works out relatively well into the Ornn sometimes, if memory serves.
DRX is back to the late game team comp, by the way.
Yeah.
After that last game, okay guys, we don't snowball. We just go for the late game. Woohoo!
Hey, in high pressure, I actually think that it's the best way to play League of Legends if you're feeling a little bit frazzled. Understanding that if you just stay in the game for as long as possible, it's likely you attack moving down the map is probably going to be better than your opponents.
Yep.
And it feels better, you know?
Feels better, for sure, 100%.
But look, there are certainly some curveballs here on Genji's side when it comes to scaling. They do have the Nocturne there, and if he dives on top of the Aphelios, he may just kill him. And there's no time Kench this time around to deny any sort of paranoia. Does make it very difficult for Doran to throw down his ultimate if it is really dark.
Yep.
And so opportunities for, you know, global plays are going to be harder here for Dragon X. But it's been a while since we've seen the Nocturne in the jungle.
And I think Nocturne is going to make DRX to make them harder to control the side lanes. Because they already have GP, which is not that same against Nocturne, and Zoe, which is she really wants to go mid and push.
Yeah.
You know? So I think when it comes to the 1-3-1, then maybe Genji's comp can pop it off. But in general, Chovy, the Zoe player, got the Zoe. So we're gonna see it from the lane. What's gonna happen?
Well, I mean, I'm glad you brought it up, actually, because now that I'm thinking about it, Nocturne actually destroys Zoe. So let's see where the Clid is going to be the bane of Chovy as we get into Game 7.
생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
Alrighty, guys. We are still here.
Yeah. Feels good, man. It's...
What's your call time for tomorrow? You may as well just stay here and have a nap.
Yeah, I mean, just 12 hours later, then I need to be here again.
Oh, God.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm on the second series, so I can sleep in.
Yeah,
so I'll be fine.
I mean, everyone is fine. Everything is going great. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, brother.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a clang of your Trevi and my water. Not that we are advertising anything or anything like that. Sparkling water, I should say. Slightly flavored sparkling water.
I mean, at this point, we should just enjoy.
Oh, precisely.
Moment, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And look, it's not like we're in a tiebreaker scenario when it's likely that the entirety of the LCK is going to be rid from the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so now at least we are going to have a semifinals where both regions are represented, which is, I think, what everyone wanted.
At least it's not gonna be Demacia Cup Season 2.
Yeah. As the lights went on, I think I'm scared that means a pause. No. What?
It's not pause.
We turned the lights off again, and I think that maybe they were just trying to wake us up.
We're not sleeping, obviously.
No, we're not sleeping, guys. We're still talking.
But my brain is sleeping, actually.
Mine is a little bit too, but we're going to have to focus on this game just a little bit. So far, there's not too much going on. See Doran getting shoved in just a little.
I mean, just think about the players. You know, they played and they just waited for like hour and hour, and their focus must be like distracted a little bit. You know, so this is more like who is focusing more and have concentrate plays in the game.
Oh, 100%. And you can see Ruler, he's here on the bottom side by himself. Life actually getting into the enemy jungle on his hillbilly Gragas. Getting some deep vision onto the blue buff. That's spotted out, but it is just to make sure that Clid is absolutely fine in this jungle. And he is going to be so as Ruler misses a pierce. Goshik should be able to secure his own blue. Krugs is going to be where good old Clid is going to be.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be just farming and only lane fights, by the way, because both junglers really wants to just be level 6 without any accidents.
Yeah.
Sejuani Nocturne, so I think it's going to be 1v1 on the top and mid and 2v2 on the bot side.
Looks like Chovy going for the unsealed spellbook this time around. I believe this is his sort of rune of choice. Seen a fair few Aries as well, but a lot of our more seasoned Zoe players do like to throw out the unsealed spellbook for the added flexibility.
Yeah, probably the main reason why they really want to have spellbook is Nimbus Claw. That's just so great for Zoe.
You do get pretty speedy.
Yeah, speedy and the damage as well.
Yeah.
With the W passive.
Synergies. Good
Synergies.
Doran gets the push in. As you can see, he is behind, actually, as this mini-wave will be eaten by Rascal. We'll see whether Pyoshik is going to come back up towards the top side and try and affect this lane, because the more an Ornn has a good time, the worse you feel as its opposition. More than most other matchups. I know that's sort of something that happens all the time. Take it away with it. I think I should stop attempting to talk and make sense.
Yeah. Nothing will happen, as I said, you know.
Well, I mean, I think you're exactly right. We need a little bit of help getting excited
those junglers,
at this point
man.
in time, you know?
What can you do with those junglers? Just farm until level 6.
Well, I mean, you can then, why don't you just go for the 1v1s and the 2v2s? Guys!
I mean, it's fine. It's potentially lost game, you know?
Yeah, true.
And imagine how...
Well, actually, if you lose, it's not your last game. It's only your last game if you win. So, theoretically, less...
yeah.
No, there's still a hell of a...
I mean, from my experience, it's always feeling so great when you actually finish your work and just in the car just watch enemies keep playing while I go back to the gaming house, you know?
Yeah, go back.
We are like, oh man, today was hard, but you won, you know? Ha ha ha! And like watching them just sweating and shaking and choking, you know? That's so fun. It's like winners' momentum, you know?
Yep, that's the dream.
The mental healing is just real. We always did that, but yeah, who is gonna take the momentum?
And then you get to watch one of these other teams have to play it out as well from the comfort. So
I mean, if you win today...
This is exactly that experience that you illustrated for whoever wins right here. So both these teams certainly going to be giving it their all, as Doran actually finding himself in a pretty good position here up against Rascal.
Okay.
Chovy gets Unleashed Powered, has to flash. That's not what you really want out of the Zoe God of the mid lane himself in Chovy, as Ruler also gets a lot of Ren damage. On to Deft and Carrier. NG, almost, they're feeling like a dormant volcano right now. I'm expecting the fireworks soon.
Fireworks, yeah?
Yep. Ready.
I think
Cleared, relatively
DRX
close to 6.
Because they have Aphelios and GP. They don't need to fight, and they learned from last game that, man, all the game breaks, it's irrelevant. It's all about Dragon Soul and late game team fight, so let's do not hurry on this game, you know? We are better. We are better than them.
That pierce damage is just insane.
Yeah.
Out of Ruler. Bit of that QMax style, as is the way for the Callistas. Does tend to catch you by surprise if you see a big one. Certainly wasn't the way in the past, with Rend being the max a while ago.
Yeah, the pressure is real though.
Oh yeah.
You shouldn't think about it, but like, imagine as DRX player, you know, if you lose today, I mean, if you lose this game,
yeah, how do you come back and like mentally
you have to
reset
play one
to win
more.
the next one? Yeah.
3 games in a row, and that the team that you just got destroyed. I mean, not like destroyed, but in the end, yes, you got destroyed.
Yeah, really.
Your
and
Nexus
also in
got
the draft,
destroyed.
like, felt like it was just better decision making out of JDG. Completely agree with you. So we have a look at this trade once again.
Mid 1v1. That was sinful WE combo by BDD, and he forced out Chovy's flash. So I really think BDD is gonna keep up the mid prior because of the Nocta ulti too. So for sure, he is the player He is the one of the best player can use mid priority to give other lanes prior and pressure. So I think this header should be Gen G side. Like imagine they have Syndra and Nocturne and Ornn in the top side in the early game, and Zoe has no flash. Then I don't ever think about the 3v3 when DRX side has GP, Sejuani, and flashless Zoe on the mid lane.
They do have a Cannon Barrage and the Glacial Prison, so like the Sejuani ult, the Gangplank ult that can really sort of layer and ruin potential skirmish in that area, but I agree with you. I think Gen G do have enough tools to guarantee that that Herald should go to them, but Vision is there for DRX right now.
I don't think they are taking care about that much of objective right now. They want to relieve their bot lane, so that's why their jungler is just passing towards both sides. And even though you're not ganking, as Nocturne, if you just path towards both sides or one side, then you already give the power, give the lane prior power. You don't need to be there. You just need to like be around it, and that's all, because you're Nocturne, you know. Maybe not in the like early games, because the Nocturne level 1 ultimate is not that.
Oh, stolen!
Oh, juicy!
That's perfect. That's what you want. Carrier with those young man mechanics. Able to lock down the hook on Rift Scuttler.
Yeah,
the hardest thing in the game to hit a skill shot.
Yeah,
by the way.
if life was like 3 years younger.
Yeah, see? Lumau said it first and he said it best. So that's how that goes.
So yeah, as we expected, Gen G side is easily getting headered, and DRX has vision on it though. But
however, the Gangplank now has a lot to deal with. As the on-horn comes down, Glacial Prison was good. Cannon Barrage is there very defensively. Might have actually been an option against Clid, but Chovy not going to be able to find the Nocturne there. Hits that control ward, gets back to mid lane. They do save Doran, and the gold lead is only, I mean, it's dissipated, basically. It's, DRX about 100 in the lead, as of course the bot lane did go for a reset. Gave them a bit of an opportunity. Def now BF sword and his pickaxe. So going for the IE double zeal build on the affiliates this time.
yeah, and I think there is only Mountain Drake or Ocean Drake soul potential, right? So
yep,
it can be similar as last game. Yeah, Gen G is kind of snowballing from the forcing mid flash by 1v1, but if they do not able to get Dragon Soul, it doesn't matter that you got 3 Drakes or something, because eventually DRX's team comp is gonna outscale Gen G side. Maybe, I mean, BDD and Rascal is for sure they can go for the late game and still be fine, but we saw it from the last game how broken is Aphelios in the late game, you know?
Oh, exactly. And Def is pretty good at late game.
Yeah.
80 carrying.
And
but
they have Thresh too.
Yeah, I think the DRX do need to try and put some priority on getting themselves an earlier Drake than the 3rd or something like that. I think it will be important that they avoid falling into a trap of a potential very early Dragon Soul against this Gen G squad.
And also I think this time will be a lot easier for Gen G side because they have 2 strong engage tools. So I don't think it's gonna be hard to force a fight after like 3 Drakes or something, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, so far, no issues for either side. 0-0, just a Drake being picked up here by Gen G. We talk about DRX as having the scaling advantage, and look, you look down the line and you're like, yes, they do have a lot of late game, but I mean, there's an Ornn, a Nocturne against a Zoe, which is a great sort of late game insurance policy to have. Like, Chovy will have to invest a fair bit in order to get away from a paranoia coming out from Clid.
Yeah.
Not to mention some other tools that Gen G will be able to utilize. Rule and no slouch, the disengage from Agragas is always important. And BDD should, at most stages of the game, be able to just straight up kill death.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the...
Or maybe Chovy.
Flash again.
Yeah, another just Dark Sphere having to be flashed out of.
And there's another one, by the way. If you watch the Genji games today, then you might remember how they played Kalista. And this is the fight for sure.
Yeah. They're looking to try and lock this one down. Glacial Prism
Uh-oh.
comes in and, actually misses the pierce over the wall. As Ruler gets trouble bubbled as well. Cleared was thinking about coming back in, but it's just a Duskbringer attempt. And as we were talking about, DRX this time going to be able to lock that Cloud Drake down, and Ocean Soul is going to be the Drake this game.
That was really great play by Chovy. I mean, he kind of pushed out, but with the spell book.
Yeah, just teleports back, right?
Yeah, there's teleport back. So they just got the Drake easily. And this will actually give DRX a lot of time for the scale. I mean, it feels so much better than like them having 2 Drakes in a row, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It gives them, you know, at least another 5 minutes, but certainly a lot more time of breathing room in pivotal moments of the game.
Yep.
And so you might look at it as like, well, they only have to wait another 5 minutes for things to happen, but within those 5 minutes, the game can drastically change as well with how the landscape works. So certainly, I'm with you as far as DRX's chances and the way that we can keep this game as close as possible for as long as possible. I think everyone, including us, is hoping that this game lasts for at least 95 minutes. Because we want to go for some records. We want MSC to be something that everyone remembers.
Yeah.
Not just for the excellent League of Legends, but for breaking records. You know?
I mean, it's already 15 minutes, but it's 0 kills.
See? And
it's LCK magic. Welcome to LCK.
well,
Global.
welcome to Chovy's Zoe, who was able to find that one. Sneaking through onto life.
I mean, I'm fine with it. Because there was like kind of no point to fight, but maybe there was like few chance when BDD got the flashes in the mid lane. Maybe they could try to just roam on the mid and try to form and dive or something, but nothing happened, so Chovy just farming. But still, BDD got the tower, by the way, 1v1.
Yeah.
So the map is already open, which means
I think
it's
that
really
teleport,
easy for
yeah.
Nocturne.
I think you're right. 16 minutes, one could say. And in fact, Rascal's able to pressure this turret as well.
Yeah.
Like it's just the amount of inherent pressure that you have with Nocturne existing.
I mean, this is just the power of Nocturne, you know?
Yeah.
In fact, maybe Nocturne is just jungling and just spacing, you know? But on the enemy team, you have no idea where is Nocturne unless you have like full pressure into enemy jungle. But right now, BDD's mid prior is making it so easy. So DRX is like, oh man, Nocturne is missing, careful top lane, careful bot lane, careful mid lane.
Careful everywhere.
Yeah, so that's what's happening right now. So that's why Genji just getting all the objectives without any fights.
You can see DRX are actually looking for some fights themselves, but Pyoshik spotted on a ward, might have to slink away. Chovy does have a decent farm lead over BDD right now, and does have Exhaust Ignite, and is holding onto a barrier. As far as battle stats, he's doing some work as Pyoshik comes on in to try and block some damage, but despite all of those different offensive options, Chovy's just going to get murdered by BDD and Paranoia.
This is what we wanted. This is what we said.
Yeah. My goodness, that was
you cannot step up without flashing and Nocturne. That was great, and Genji is having 3 lanes of Priya, so it should be really easy for them to control the vision, and which means they are scared as.
I just love how decisive it was.
He just flashes in and even uses the cleans for the Nimbus Clock, it seems like. But I don't know, like he's just using it for the meme, I don't know.
I actually really love the Unleashed power though, because there's no way that Chovy can exhaust it if he's on his way back through his portal.
Yeah.
So he gets out of range and the spears will always connect unless you go untargetable. Not if you get out of range, and Chovy, no option to extinguish a whole bunch of that damage. So I really liked that idea out of BDD. Meant that exhaust was used suboptimally.
Yeah, and Rula got the QSS for the second item.
Oh wow.
I mean, I would definitely do that after that Kalista game that they had, you know?
Oh yeah, straight
Like,
up.
it's a nightmare for the Kalista, I mean, for Rula.
I was more just saying, wow, that he's made it to Blade of the Room King and QSS already. But it looks like DRX should be able to lock down this Ocean Drake themselves. Not something that Gen G feel comfortable with contesting, nor did they have control of the area. So DRX get their second Drake, and in 5 minutes' time, looking for their third. But it's bad news for Gen G if we're assuming that DRX do have the scaling advantage, but it's not super cut and dry with ornaments already coming in.
Yeah. Maybe they have different idea. They think it's really, really fine when you have Syndra and Ornn. Even though they have Aphelios, they cannot really like scale that hard. You know? I mean, yes, they do have Ornn and Syndra. And let's say when it comes to like late game teamfight content, Ornn ults, and on the top, Nocturne ults, and there is a Syndra. So I don't think Aphelios can just freely just go on front and walk into the game. But still, and we are just saying it again, like we saw Aphelios last game, you know, Loken, when he played it, it looked like unkillable. Yes, there was time change, but this time around you have Karia's Thresh. So I don't think
Lanterns are just as good, right?
Yeah. So I don't think there's any
good,
differences.
but they're pretty good.
And he still, I mean, he even have exhaust for his AD carry, even though he's playing Thresh.
Yeah, true. I think that I find really a little bit of a worry with it is the fact that, unlike last game, Gen G have guaranteed dive onto definitely death, right?
Yep.
Because they have Nocturne, and he's always able to jump on top of a champion. So, if Kerry is out of position, if Deft's out of position, then it's likely that Gen G can just pull the trigger and take him down. And that is just a lot of pressure to be on Dragon X, especially when things are getting late. And believe me, guys, the players are going to be feeling it as well.
Yeah.
This is a long day for all of them.
I would definitely just flash out when I hear Nocturne ultimate sound, and then on the top of that, Ornn is ulting on you, you know? Just definitely flashing out. So they can literally just force them out without using any like flashes or summoners. Ultimate is faster than summoners, definitely. So they can just play with them and not having to fight for like another 20 minutes or something. That's kind of Gen G style, but at the same time, that's what they did in LCK, and it worked out in the regular spring split. So they were in the first place.
Yeah, and we won't talk about the final because that's not relevant at this point.
I mean, I'm just talking about the regular.
Yeah, regular season.
Regular season.
That's what we're talking about.
This is also kind of regular season, you know. It's not like semis or something.
No, true. You're exactly right. I don't think we need to...
The king of the regular season.
Used to be Griffin, but they've been relegated. Needed to be someone.
Okay.
And Gen G are the ones to hold up that mantle. They weren't able to take down DRX last time. So DRX theoretically 1-0 in this particular matchup. Gen G trying to guarantee first seed in the semifinals tomorrow. And then whoever loses will be facing off against JDG. Will have an opportunity to be the third LPL team in the MSC semifinals. As Trouble Bubble lands onto the Nocturne, but Life just going to body block. And DRX, they're just giving up so much ground. I find this to be the worrying factor. And it's the fact that they can't really get past the river this game.
And Ornn is having silent pressure all the time, it seems like. And he almost got the bot lane secondary start too.
Yeah, I mean, getting double Rift Herald on the side of Gen G certainly helped in that regard. Skirshik does have his Warmogs completed. Like, the piggy is by no means behind, as Carrier almost picked that, actually, as Rula exactly the right position.
So he can just overstack.
Oh, that's true, that's true. And he's got double cleanse, basically.
Yeah, double cleanse, basically. So I don't think it's gonna be that critical. But yeah, what do you do about the Ocean Drake? I mean, they traded so many Drakes, so it's not gonna be like, yeah, we fight now. 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, Rascal, if he's caught out of position like this, then they might need to actually just give it up. As, yep, that is going to be a very dead on for another 50 seconds. And there's now 23 left on this Ocean Drake. This could be Ocean Soul Point given over to DRX for a second time today, just by a slight misstep of their top laner. Not entirely sure how he managed to get caught out of position there. Regardless, could certainly be a bad time as Def moves on over with Carrier, takes that Lantern, Scatter the Weak. Doran immediately cleansing out of it. Another bubble lands, this time onto Ruler. So he's got a billion cleanses, he will be absolutely fine. But DRX now just going to utilize the Cannon Barrage, Trouble Bubble there for good measure, and they lock down the Ocean Drake and move themselves into mid lane for position. I loved that, using it for zoning, not using it to try and win any team fights. Yep. And Dragon X buy themselves another 5 minutes towards this Ocean Soul. Oh my goodness, they've got a lot of vision around here. Is the Flash Hook not going to land? I don't know why Gen G has started off the Baron, but another Trouble Bubble is going to connect. I feel like Chovy, in this game especially, has had his eyes really eye in on his targets. As this was just Rascal here with no actual right to be, right?
Yep. I mean, I think he was like, nah, I'm just way too tanky, you know. He was, he was pushing side lane all the time for 20 minutes, so I don't think he was like able, I mean, in his mind.
Yeah, true.
I'm not able to die.
Yep. I haven't died so far. How am I supposed to die now? So far, so good.
I'm supposed to die here.
Yep.
Especially when I have silent pressure with Ornn.
Silent pressure. He's not very silent. I've noticed him mostly going gunk, 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 making big noises, crashing steel and stuff like that. Did you watch the Volley Bear reveal?
Yeah.
Did you see the Ornn in the clouds? That wasn't silent, dude. That was scary and loud.
Okay.
Interesting. That's my Ornn is loud reference. What do you think? I think I proved it. Okay, DRX thinking about getting in position on this Baron yet again, but they spot Ruler out, move out of the pit. Chovy and B2D facing off top side.
Genji spot.
Yeah.
That's actually Genji spot, by the way.
What's that?
Do you remember the brush on the red side?
Oh, yeah.
I remember Cleat getting caught like 3 times in a row in
I
the
remember,
same spot in finals.
I actually remember some really sick team fights, actually. Genji versus Griffin. It was 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually just some of the sickest League of Legends that we've seen team fight-wise in that area.
Yeah, I think it was Core GG's Alistar.
I think so, yeah.
5-man knock-up.
And it was also the 5-man Gnar at the same time, but then also like a 5-man Shockwave from the other team. It was just super sick. It was like a great moment.
Yeah, it turned out that Genji is really big in that spot.
Yeah.
Because
after like having a good time, they had a bad time.
Yeah, the Cleat was getting caught a lot in that spot, and now that was Rascal.
Well, at least Clid doesn't need to get caught in that spot this game because he already has, right?
True.
So
and he's not.
We can look at it that way. Yep. Well, 2 minutes until the Ocean Drake. That is the next target that DRX is going for.
Yep.
We are very
2 more minutes.
Yep.
Only 2 more minutes of Resident Sleep that moment.
I mean, is it only going to be 2 more minutes though, we did? Because there's only been
there's
2
another
kills this game.
Yeah, there's another Dragon Dance. Maybe DRX gives up and waiting for 5 items. Wow, because they have so much time.
We also have, like I was talking about, we're going for what, a 95-minute game? So we've still got over 30 minutes of this one before we get to that Guinness World Record.
Guinness World Record.
Of
I don't want
longest
that.
game
I don't
competitive League of Legends of all time.
So Genji is spinning up. Yes. Oh no.
Like they were ever gonna stay on that Baron. We did stop baiting the fans, man.
No, I just want to wake them up. You know, I'm 100% sure. I'm 200% sure that
so many people
spamming Resident Sleepers. There's no joke. I'm just gonna check it right now.
Like, I think there's going to be a lot of people that have actually like just woken up, actually, so they're currently having their morning coffee.
That is true.
And they're not likely to fall back asleep.
And
As,
here we go. There's only that emote on the chat.
That's true. I mean, there's some wow dids there with some Keck W's alongside and things like that.
I mean, you know, like humans' brain is so simple, and they are like really easy to get bait. You know, so normally
right.
you know what it means, right? So maybe if you type like PPD, maybe it seems like more like funny and entertaining.
And so that you're just using
instead
it
of
more
like
as
Resident Sleeper.
Yeah. So maybe we need the Pepper D's in there.
Yeah.
And then that might coax the team
And then
into
like,
doing
oh
something.
yeah, this is actually funny moments like vision control, like 200 IQ moments like vision control. Wow. But here we go.
I don't know whether it's enabled
Ocean
in the
Drake.
LCK chat, by the way. That might be the really disappointing side. As Gen G do get into position around this Ocean Drake.
Uh-oh.
And
Uh-oh.
DRX is going to have to pull the trigger if they're going to steal this one out of the way, and they're just not going to be able to. So the Rend is going to lock that one down. Life off towards the side, gets the two-man body slam, and the Zoe is taken away immediately. Life has to go golden, exhaust down onto clear. Glacial Prison does come in. Doran trying to keep himself alive, but there's the second Rend. And BDD locks down the kill onto the Aphelios. He's very low, but he still feels comfortable chasing after this one. Doran gets healed back up again, but it's not going to be enough, and I have a feeling this is just the end of the game. Ruler grabs another double. 6-1 is going to be the kill score, and I have a feeling at 30 minutes into this game, one team fight, and it's done.
Then it's done. And also, I'm actually worrying about DRX already.
Oh yeah,
They're playing 3 games in a row, and I really think their energy and their condition must be like not great, not 100%. That's for sure.
I mean, how many second chance saloons are you supposed to have though?
Yeah, and
in
also
this tournament.
again, they got 3 drakes. 3 drakes almost got the Ocean Drake soul, but again, they couldn't. And they even changed their strategy. Oh yeah, with our all-in comes, yeah. I guess we are bad, so we cannot end all-in. So
let's go for
look
something
for the
else.
late game. But they cannot even go for the late game.
Do you know what they didn't do, Woodid? They didn't pick Ezreal Zoe. So, look, sometimes these things happen. However, Gen G, from the ashes of defeat, they have risen as a phoenix to be our first confirmed team into the semifinals to go up against Top Esports and FPX, who were the sole survivors from our first group.
Our hope, you know? And
yeah, exactly. And this is what you illustrated earlier in the day.
Yeah, I mean, this is winning moment, by the way.
Yeah.
So they can just order some Korean chickens and get back with their nice sponsor, Mercedes-Benz, you know? And just flexing on them, just watching some YouTube on the mobile.
Yeah, and of course Arnold's there as well, the COO of Gen G, sending you some money, talking about how he's really glad that you used his line, which was Saviors of Korea. So I'm impressed by that also. But yeah, huge congratulations to Gen G. Great performance eventually, and I actually think that the eventually part is my favorite bit, because I think that rewarding players for being consistent and for having the tenacity to keep performing is something that is really important. As you can see, DRX, they are running out of steam.
They're on choking.
I mean, it's not, I don't think it's about choke, right? It's fatigue. At this point, they just must be super tired. We got here a really long time ago.
Yeah. It's like I think players must be here, should be like 2 p.m. or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think our call time...
They need to get makeup and...
So our call time was exactly 10 hours ago.
That's true.
Yeah.
Exact 10 hours ago. And I need to be here after like 11 hours.
Yeah. And I actually, my friend, thankfully the surgery went well, but I had to take him to hospital this morning. So I left my house at 7:30 a.m. And so I'm getting on as far as the time awake.
The good thing is...
So I hope it's not too bad, guys.
Yeah, but the good thing is the MSC right now is not Demacia Cup Season 2. We at least have one team in semis.
That's true. We do have confirmation that someone is going to be playing in the tournament at this stage.
And we are going to see Gen G blind picking something against China team. And it's BDD, by the way.
Gragas Yasuo.
Gragas Yasuo, or it can be Zed as well. Blind pick and LCK And Zed?
Could you imagine if it was BDD versus Knight ZVZ? Oh, that would be so sick. Because Knight is like such a good assassin player. Oh my god, that would be so good. That's like the pride of Korea versus the pride of China in the mid lane for this season, of course.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I know a lot of you in the chat are like, but what about Faker? And Faker wasn't the MVP of the split this year. That is my point. He's also not in the tournament, which also makes it difficult for him to perform there.
I mean, he's in our mind, but
not
in this arena anymore.
And look, with best of ones, anything can happen. And Top Esports and FPX just played super well yesterday.
Yeah,
they really did.
And also, I do feel like BDD is just performing so good in this tournament. He's always winning the lane, and he knows how to use his mid priority to affect the other lanes. And he did with the Sinwha.
I mean, this team fight was actually all Rascal.
Yeah, I mean,
got the gigantic knockups, and then even flashing onto the GP right here. That was cool, but allowing time, utilizing his CC, and then Ruler just like spamming cleanse after cleanse after cleanse in order to take down that last kill. So impressive stuff. Not a lot of damage done this game. In fact, not a lot happened for 30 minutes, and then Gen G won.
So yeah, my question is, what they should do, DRX?
Oh,
They lost with the all-day game team comp, and they lost with their late game team comp.
I think they want to just play as much comfort as possible across the board. I think that's what they need to do. They need to just, pick comfort champions and make sure that, I think making sure that Pyoshik gets onto something that he can have an early impact on, or farm on, right? Like, actually, if he utilizes the early game to get himself to the point where he's just too strong in the mid to late, then actually like that, right? Like, the Graves Nidalee aspect is going to work out. But unfortunately, he's against Kanavi, who's just better at what Pyoshik does in a lot of these instances. So
and also,
it's
you
hard.
cannot ignore Nidalee.
Yeah.
You have to maybe it's it depends on what side you are on, but yeah, I think it's still JDG's side, like JDG's favor, but yeah, it's all about the mentality and then like just energy that you have, you know.
And is it going to be a side switch as well? Because now the draft might change, assuming they're on different sides.
Assuming.
Because I actually feel like red side for this matchup is actually going to be pretty important, because I think that allows you to lock down Trundle if you want it and then ban away any counters, or lock down a priority jungler after seeing a first pick and things like that, and sort of getting a little bit more out of this, because I feel like there are just a lot of champions, so there's not exactly going to be one that's left available. As BDD is going to lock down the player of the game. I actually hadn't given it much thought, to be perfectly honest. This particular day is about just the analysts voting for player of the game, and so normally I have a bit of an opinion, but this time I didn't even think about it, because I felt like this was just Gen G playing better as a unit rather than anything else, but this play was particularly good.
Yeah, true. And he cleaned out Zoe's trouble bubble too. Like,
yeah. And then immediately cleansed it.
I didn't see it at that time because I was really just sleeping.
I mean, maybe Rascal deserved it for that 6-3-man knockup that won them the only team fight of the game.
But I think he kind of just locked out the enemy mid laner.
Yeah. Well, we are going to have our interview with our first LCK team promoted into the MSC. So here's Ji-sun with the translation.
축하드려요. 소감이 어떠신가요? First of all, we are back once again, joined by back-to-back-to-back POG. BDD right here. How do you feel to advance to the semifinals?
네, 오늘 1위로 올라가서 약간 너무 다행인 게 저희가 지면 한 경기를 더 해야 되더라고요. 근데 내일 또 경기도 되게 앞당겨 있고 오늘 컨디션도 되게 별로여가지고 해가지고 이겨가지고 정말 다행인 것 같아요.
it's a huge relief that we secured the first spot because if we lost, we had to play another game. So, and I know that tomorrow we will be having a very early semifinals, and I wasn't having my best condition so far. So it's a huge relief that we secured the first seed. 그러면 사실 경기 내내 사실 큰 한타는 없었어요. 꽝 붙는 한타는 없었는데 마지막 한타 한 방에 게임이 끝났습니다. 그 한방 싸움을 노리고 있었던 건가요? Well, we weren't able to see any huge 5v5 clash or team fight, but that last team fight decided the winner of the tiebreaker game. So were you guys looking for that game-ending fight?
일단은 막 노리고 한 건 아니었고 중간 계속 게임 흘러가는 양상이 되게 둘 다 파밍 이런 위주로 굴러가가지고 약간 싸움 한 번이 되게 컸었던 것 같아요.
We weren't actually aiming for that one big fight. Rather, the game was going like farming versus farming. So it was more about that. Last fight was really huge. 그러면 사실 오른이 경기가 그렇게 쉽지만은 않았는데 마지막에 결자 해지 정말 한타를 캐리했습니다. 경기가 끝나고 라스칼 선수는 또 어떤 코멘트를 하신 게 있는지 궁금한데요. So Orn was also not having his best day, but in the last team fight, his contribution was so significant. So what did Rascal say after the game?
네, 라스칼 선수가 끝나고 저한테 그 전에 한 번 잘린 적이 있었거든요. 그래서 그거 잘리고 나서 망하는 줄 알았다고요. 그런 얘기하고 별다른 얘기는 없었던 것 같아요.
Yeah, I mean, after he got caught out in the middle of the game, he actually told me like, "Oh, I thought the game was over and we were doomed." But well, besides that, there was not anything special, any special comment that Rascal told us. 그러면 이제 다음은 2위 결정전이 기다리고 있습니다. 징동 대 DRX인데요. 특별히 응원하는 팀은 있는지 그러면 응원의 한마디도 부탁드립니다. And we're waiting for the next tiebreaker game, JD Gaming versus DRX. So, is there any specific team that he supports and any message for the team?
사실은 특별하게 응원하는 팀은 없고 약간 네, 그래도 LCK인 DRX가 올라오는 게 좋지 않을까 생각하고 있어요.
To be honest, I don't have a specific bias, but I mean DRX is well, we're in the same league, LCK, so I hope they win. 그러면 이제 또 4강전은 TES 전인데요. 각오도 부탁드립니다. And their opponent in the semifinals will be TES. So what is his mindset going into that series?
네, 오늘 같이 되게 나쁘지 않은 경기력으로 시원시원하게 좋은 경기력으로 다시 돌아와서 좋은 경기력 보여드리도록 노력하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Just like today, I hope we can pull off a really good performance and prove ourselves on the stage. 여기까지가 BDD 선수였습니다.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for the translation, and of course to BDD for standing out on that stage so many times because he just seems to be addicted to player of the game performances. Definitely the best performing Korean mid laner of this tournament thus far. Very exciting to hear that they're going to be up against TES, as DRX versus JDG will be our second tiebreaker.
Second one, yeah?
Yep, and this will be the last one we did, unless we have to chrono break it because something goes wrong. You know, it's like
pause.
It's like we've passed
and
like
delay.
yeah, it's like past midnight, and now there's like some time code error, and so like the server explodes. Now I've jinxed it as effectively as possible. I think we're ready to go to a short break where we can flood the chat with as many Monka S's and Monka W's as possible so that everyone is as nervous as they possibly can be, and potentially we can just stay online until the semifinals start. What do you think?
Let's move on.
I feel like let's finish it now.
Yeah. Like, I just like I was imagining it like cool, man.
No, he's sick of me already, guys. So
no, I'm good.
we are going to be going to a short break, but when we get back, it is going to be the final one, we swear.